Every single day I see a place for you and me. Green Mama's garden, Green Mama's garden. Don't need no shoes or shirt, out playing in the dirt. Green Mama's garden, Green Mama's garden. Breathing the fresh air, living life without a care. Green Mama's garden.
Let's get digging!
Hey you guys, it's Green Mama. We are outside and we are going to plant some tomato plants. And we're going to talk to you about tips for having success with transplanting tomatoes. Right, Kian?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yay!
All right, so let's show you what...
I put dandelion in my ear.
Let's show you what we have right here, okay? So we have some lovely tomato plants that we also have some basil plants. Basil and tomato like to grow together. And we have with us some worm castings from our worm bin in our kitchen. Worm castings are actually really great for transplants. It seems like studies have shown that they decrease transplant shock. And they also have worm castings have a natural growth hormone in them that actually helps plants grow bigger and better and faster. So that's kind of cool. The other thing that we have here that Kian is really excited to show you is, I don't know if you can see this really well, Cascade Minerals provides essential minerals and elements to your soil. It is a remineralizing soil booster. I got this from AzureStandard.com. Our community participates in a co-op with Azure Standard. So, this was super cheap, much cheaper than rock dust. What it is it's derived from finely ground volcanic basalt from the Cascade Mountains, and it looks like ground up lava. Really finely ground lava. If you are going to use rock dust or any other type of mineral type thing, the thing that you should be careful with is that it is a very fine dust that you should not breathe in. It's not good for your lungs. So you're going to have to be careful with handling that. And I really don't claim that stuff is better than the rock dust that John Kohler at Growing Your Own Greens and many other people promote. But it's what I could afford and easily access, so that's what I'm going to use. And now the other thing that we have is we have our water filter out here. It's a really good idea to use filtered water as opposed to just the water that comes out of the tap from the side of your house when you're transplanting, because water directly out of the tap is going to have a lot of chlorine in it, and that's kind of stressful for the plants. And transplanting is a stressful thing for your plants anyway, so you want to try to minimize the stress as much as possible. Alright, so Kian is digging our first hole here. We need it to be a little bit deeper. Tomatoes, you can actually plant them pretty deep, up to their leaves, all the way up to their leaves. You don't have to worry about that bottom of the stem. Well, keep digging. We need it to be deeper. All right, kiddo. That looks good. We just need a little bit more out of there. Can you get a little bit more out of there? This is our first year using this garden bed. In the past, where we rented, we had a very big garden, but we're just here for the first year, and they only have a tiny yard, but they have these very nice raised beds, which they had used for gardening, and they added a lot of compost to them, and they were big egg eaters apparently, so there's tons of eggshells in the soil, but it seems like it was fairly well taken care of, and we're grateful to have it. This little raised bed here faces south, which is good. They'll have warmth and sunshine for the tomatoes, and because of the siding here, it's going to reflect the sun's rays back onto the plant, and it's going to create a little bit of a heat effect right here, which is also good for tomatoes. Tomatoes love to have a lot of heat, so this will be a good spot. So Kian has the hole dug now. He did a good job. And now we're going to add our soil amendments down in the bottom of the hole, so the roots will just be able to access them right away. First, we're going to start with a handful of worm casting. You want to put it in there? All right, throw that in the bottom of the hole there. And put one more little handful, because your hand is little. All right, and then we're going to get a half a cup of the mineralizing soil booster. And we're going to mix that in a little bit down at the bottom of the hole. Can you use your thing to mix it?
Yeah.
Okay. Mix it a little bit. All right, that's good. And then
We put tomato?
we're going to pour
Water.
probably about a cup of water into the bottom of the hole, maybe a little bit more. You want to have a nice big puddle to put the roots of your plant down. And the reason is because it's bad for the roots to be exposed to oxygen. So by putting the water down in there, it's going to help the soil settle all around the roots, and then you're going to press in very well, and that will make sure that the roots are happy. Okay, so you separate your roots out a little bit if they're compacted. This one was not. All right, and then you press it down into your mud hole, and then you're going to want to cover it up with the soil around there, and make sure you get it tight against the stem. And then you're going to press really strongly with your hands. Can you press down there? Press, 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 press. So that there you go. And then you've got a happy little tomato plant there. All right, so now we're going to kind of show you the trick. Kian wanted to know the trick for getting the plant out of the pot carefully, okay? So what you want to do is make sure that the plant soil is moist, all right? If it's dry and crumbly, then that's not going to work well, all right? So, and then you turn the plant, you turn the plant sideways like this, okay? Not all the way upside down or it'll all pour out all over your hand. And then you squeeze gently, okay? And that should loosen it up, and there you go. And I'm doing something really bad right now, which is I'm holding the roots up to the wind. In general, it's a good idea to not transplant on a windy day because the wind and the oxygen does stress out the roots a little bit. But we're going to get this in the ground real fast. I'm just going to loosen up that root ball so that it doesn't strangle itself underground. And then we'll stick it right in the hole and then plop it. Cover it up. So that tomato we just planted was an organic black cherry tomato. And we've actually grown that variety before, and it is so sweet and delicious. Does it taste like chocolate? No, but it does taste very sweet, and it has a beautiful, dark, purpley, kind of almost brownish color that does remind you of chocolate. And why do we use heirloom tomatoes and organics? Organics because we don't want to put poisonous chemicals in the ground or on ourselves, or and also we want insects to pollinate and so that we can have the fruit. And if we're putting chemicals on there that could kill the pollinators, that's not going to work out so well. Why heirlooms? Heirlooms because of genetic diversity and taste. Okay, good job. Bring it over here. Okay, now let's press it down. You gonna help me with that?
Okay, now what do we need?
Now what we're gonna do is plant some basil.
Okay, I'll get it. How about?
Do we need to water those a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, where's the water?
Water is right there.
Okay, so we finished our garden. You can see it behind us. Hopefully. We have our basil and our tomatoes all planted.
I like tomatoes.
There might be some beets that we planted in the back of the bed, which will hopefully grow.
I like beets too.
And we might add some other herbs and things for the base a little bit later.
Good, we're healthy.
All right, you guys. I hope this inspires you to grow your own garden. Bye.
Greenmama's garden, be sweet like a daffodil, full of love and chlorophyll. In Greenmama's garden, Greenmama's garden. Can't think of a better way that I like to spend my day. In Greenmama's garden, Greenmama's garden, Greenmama's garden.